Sorry guys, I've been gone for a while. I lost all info to this account when I got a new phone, and my laptop broke by the way, so yeah. Anyways, time to get into part 2 of What If Gohan and Goten Were Twins? We would pick up where we left off. The 3 years would have passed and everyone would be much stronger. The androids would have arrived, but these are different from in canon. This would be Android 13, 14, and 15. These 3 were created solely to eliminate the Sun family. This would get the twins excited and have them itching to fight. Dr. Gero would be watching from afar and would be laughing menacingly. The 3 would immediately charge at the Sun family. Goku and his boys would immediately launch towards them. Goku would fight 13 in Super Saiyan and would be evenly matched. But the boys would be overwhelmed quickly. Goku would call the boys cocky. And Vegeta and Broly would jump in and start overwhelming 14 and 15. Strangely, Goku would be out of breath and would clench his chest. 13 would shoot a blast at Goku, barely hitting him. Goten had grabbed him. Gohan would use a solar flare on 13. But somebody would jump over Gohan's head, attacking 13. This would be Trunks. He would slash 13. 13 would fall back, losing his balance. Before he could get on his feet, he would feel a sharp pain in his chest. This would be future Goten. 13 would explode in anger, creating a huge shockwave. This would push the fighters back. Vegeta and Broly would be distracted by this. They would end up going back to their fights. Broly would throw Android 15, and Vegeta would be getting bored and turn into a Super Saiyan. This would shock everyone, and Vegeta would gut punch 14 and scream out,
I hope you're ready! Big Bang Attack!
13 would see his comrades fall in battle and would get irritated. He would gather them and they would get on their feet and fuse. They would turn into a monster calling himself Super 13. He would attack Vegeta, then throwing him into the dirt. Broly would charge in. He would slam his fist into his face. And Super 13 would grin in his face. He would then place his hand in front of his stomach, and Broly would be blasted away. Broly would barely get up, and 13 would have already sucker punched him in the face. At this point, Broly was getting pummeled. Bosley would join in and gut punch 13 out of rage. His hand would be coated in a green aura. Broly would smirk and tell his son he would take it from here. Bosley would nod and Broly would charge up screaming. Everyone was confused except Vegeta. Broly had an ace up his sleeve. This was his Ikari form. Vegeta, coughing up blood, explained what Ikari was. Ikari is the power of a great ape in a humanoid form, and it doesn't require a tail. Everyone would be dumbfounded. Broly would approach Super 13. As he walked up, every blast 13 threw vanished. As it touched Broly's aura, he would become uneasy and nervous. Broly would then grab his face and drag him in the dirt, then proceeding to throw him through the mountains and following him up with ki blasts. He would stomp 13 out and throw him in the air. He would yell, "Give all you got!" Everyone would charge a blast and completely erasing 13. Broly would then pass out and Bosley carried him. Gero would end up retreating back to his lab. All of the Z fighters would then disperse. After waking up and taking his medicine, Goku would fly to Capsule Corp with the boys behind him. When they had made it there, future Goten would explain everything. He would tell Goku they need to find Gero's base and destroy it. Goten would see Bulma holding a boy with purple hair, and Chilai holding a boy with light gray hair. He would exclaim, asking if they were Saiyans, to which they would tell him yes. Then he would realize he was getting left behind and blast off with the Z fighters. He would catch up. He would end up joining Krillin and Trunks to destroy the lab. Sadly, they were too late and they would see the androids, with Android 18 and 17 smacking Gero around and ultimately killing him. Vegeta would arrive and would want to fight them, until Trunks went Super Saiyan and blasted them, destroying the lab. This didn't faze the siblings, but it would awake Android 16 and state that his only objective is to eliminate Son Goku. The androids would begin to leave the lab ruins to start searching for Goku. Vegeta obnoxiously charged at Android 18 and was made quick work, with everything going the same as in canon, up to training for the Cell games. The lineups would be different. Goten would go in with his future self, coming out with Super Saiyan Grade 4. Goku and Gohan would train the same, with Gohan tapping into Super Saiyan 2 multiple times. Broly would enter with his son Bosley. They would master Ikari. And Vegeta would go in with Trunks, with them mastering Super Saiyan as well, with the DNA of 3 Super Saiyans and the rest of the Z fighters. Cell is naturally stronger than the original story. This would make the Cell games harder than in canon. Everything would go the same as in canon until future Goten's fight. It would end up like Goku's original fight. And Kid Goten would go into Super Saiyan fighting Cell with all he had with him, ultimately losing. And Goku would forfeit like usual. Gohan's fight would go the same, with Goku dying. This would enrage Goten, with him powering up in a fit of rage. He would scream for Gohan to get up and start fighting, and they would double team Cell in sync. Cell would be getting pummeled. Goten would burn out all of his ki and pass out, giving his brother a thumbs up. And Gohan would finish Cell off with a father-son Kamehameha. Now we are in the 7-year time skip. Gohan and Goten are in high school. Goten is very popular, talking to all the girls in his school, much like his GD counterpart. But Gohan is pretty much the same as in canon, being tailed by Videl daily. As well as being the Golden Warrior and the Great Saiyaman, Goten still finds it corny. With no Kid Goten for Trunks, he is accompanied by Bosley, since Broly and Chili live near Capsule Corp. Bosley makes his way to train with Trunks, as well as Broly training with Vegeta. Videl would blackmail Gohan into the tournament still, and would force him to train her. When she would leave, Gohan and Goten would train like crazy. Goku would end up informing the boys of him returning for the tournament for a day. And they would become very excited and tell the Z fighters, getting them to participate. Broly and Vegeta would be training with their sons in the gravity room. After hearing the boys argue, they would burst into Super Saiyans. Vegeta would be surprised, but Broly was speechless. Broly knew his son had small berserker moments, but never saw him in Super Saiyan. The boys would casually play tag in the extreme gravity. Now we may bring part 2 to a close. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be more consistent. Like and subscribe.